Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Figuart set of Vasco and Sally. I say Figuart set because Bosco here is a Figuart and Sally here is a Figuart Zero. So this is kind of a unique set, the first time it's ever really happened like that. So it's actually pretty neat. As per usual, we'll go over the packaging first, so I'm just going to set these guys aside for a second since it's kind of weird. So we have this kind of cool packaging, not really traditional. It's all kind of solid. No like see-through back to the figures. You got a picture of Bosco and Sally right here. It says Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, Vasco and Sally. It says Vasco, his name's Bosco. There's some sort of stupid argument about Vasco truly being the right way, but I prefer Bosco since that's what they call him and it shows it in the subs and stuff. And then on the side here, you get like his little symbol here, their names yet again, same picture. You kind of got the cool like treasure map background, just like you had for some of the Gokaiger Figuarts, which was cool. Back here yet again, same picture, and then you got what their accessories are, and it kind of got a description of Figuart on this side, and Figuart Zero on this side, so it's like a dual packaging. Same exact side. On the top you just have the logo and name, and the name again. And the bottom just their name and stuff. So that's about all there is to it. We can bring them back into frame now. They do come with quite a decent array of things. Obviously, when you get him, he has his closed fists on, which I've already swapped out for holding fists. I'm just hiding him behind his back. And then you get these fists here that seemingly fell over when I picked this up. You get a variety. You know, you get your typical sort of relaxed hands. The ones that are behind his back right now. This is another one. This is holding weapons hands. You can hold the sword hands. This one's, I believe, is for the sword because it's a little bit more loose, so you can kind of get some bended action. Just some sort of posed hands here. Maybe he's sort of pointing at someone, and then some just sort of splayed open, relaxed hands as well. And then you get, obviously, his array of weapons. You've got his sword here, which looks pretty cool. It's very nicely detailed. They always do a good job on the shine of the silver paint. You can even see it shining off the camera, but very nicely detailed. You also get his gun right here, yet again, very nicely detailed as usual with these. And then his very special way of utilizing ranger keys, which he sort of summons them DN style by playing this, which is, once again, very nicely painted. It doesn't come with any little mini ranger keys or anything to put in it. And then he's got his very own special Mobirates thingy, which does close up there, you can see, and opens, and he's got his symbol in there instead. It's like a Mobirates razor. It's very thin. So that's neat. You do also get, for Sally, her necklace, or his necklace, or whatever you would prefer. Anyway, I don't know actually, because I kind of forget, because his name's Sally, but was it a guy? I think it's a girl, because his name is Sally, but you never know these days. Anyhow, you get the necklace. And so, because I'm holding the necklace, I'll go ahead and go over Sally first, since there's not as much to go over. If you don't know, Figuart Zero are statue figures. They have some for like One Piece, I believe. They have ones for the human characters in Tiger and Bunny, and they also did them for the majority of the Dopants and Kamen Rider Double, which I have. So they're just a statue figure series. They're nicely detailed. Let's zoom in a little bit. Pretty well done here. I think they captured Sally pretty well. Pretty decent face detailing there. Got a nice kind of tired expression. Got all the spikes around her head and such. Spikes around the arms and chest, and there's a little canister, and just some overall nice detail. It's a nice statue figure. There's the bush. And then the back here you got its ape butt. But so yeah, just a very nicely detailed statue figure. No articulation at all. It just kind of sits there. Let's zoom the camera out a little bit now. So now for the necklace, you can actually put it on, and all you do is take the head off. It comes off very easily, and then you can just place it around here and place the head back on, and you get the necklace. So that's kind of neat. Whoops, I missed. Sorry, Sally. But so yeah, you can do that. Overall, nice little figure. I think that they just did perfectly with this. They didn't really need to have a fully articulated Sally, and it was nice that he came with it. So yeah, very cool. And then she falls over. Okay, Sally. Okay, so now let's talk about Bosco. Good old Bosco. Taking a look at the figure, detail-wise, it does look really good. The head sculpt is pretty well done, as you can see there, very menacing looking face. Nice proportions all around. All the sculpting is done just fine. You got a symbol there on his hat. Here on his chest you have some nice details all around the center and like down here you kind of got almost like a button coat, some really cool like spiky skulled shoulders, or yeah, that's right, spiky skull shoulders, and then details down here on his arms. So I kind of got all kinds of different various details they did well. Sort of belt buckle area, even his legs kind of got these straps on them, some skull kneecaps, some pirate-like boots. They overall sculpted it very nicely. Here's the back. You got his symbol yet again. You kind of got this like fur skirt type deal. I know, it's not a skirt, I'm just saying. It's like a butt flap. And there's his actual butt. So yeah, detail-wise, it does look very good. It might just be me, but the color on the figure looks a little bit off. If you can see, I'm putting him next to the package, he looks like a little bit of a sort of brighter red, whereas this one looks a little more dull, and that one looks a little brighter. And also in the show, I felt like he looked a little brighter. So for some reason, I feel like his color is off, which is getting, I'm maybe a little nitpicky, but I wish it matched maybe it's the lighting, I don't know, maybe I wish it matched the package a little bit better. He just almost looks like he's not finished, like they forgot to gloss him or something. Like I said, it's just kind of frustrating because I think detail-wise, they got all the sculpts on him nice, but just the color looks strange. But articulation-wise, you pretty much have your basic stuff. 360 ball joint here, no real hindrance here terribly. You do have some swiveling, and this piece here clashing with this does hinder that. You got the double elbow joint, which is hindered by the various pieces here. And you just kind of have to work around that. Swiveling here at the arm and the hand. A nice 360 ball joint here. It is hindered by this little butt flap thing back here, and it doesn't lend as much leeway as others I've seen. You have swiveling here as well, your double knee joint, swiveling at his foot. You got a nice kind of ball joint on it to get good range of motion, and a single toe joint. And then you do have the articulation at the waist and chest. And of course the nice head and neck articulation as usual. It is quite hindered by these pieces here kind of clashing with these like sort of shoulder pieces here, or almost shoulder pieces. It's almost like a over elaborate coat. But so yeah, there is little bits of hindering of the articulation just based off of the fact that he's got so many pieces to work with. Overall, to be honest, this figure is kind of a mixed bag for me. I'm not entirely sure why. I really like his design, and I think that they got the sculpting details very nice. And as usual, Figuart articulation is very nice, and I don't have any problems with loose joints or anything like that. But it's just bothersome, the color. I'm not sure if it's just me or not, but the color just looks weird. It almost looks a little cheaper, and it just looks off. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with it. Overall, it still is a pretty solid set. Sally is a nice statued figure. You got nice details and articulation on here. Easily probably the best representation of Bosco of this type you can get. So if you're a huge fan of these characters and you pick it up, I don't think you'll be that disappointed. My paint thing's more of a nitpick. It's still a very solid figure. It's just not quite perfect for me for some reason. Like I said, it could just be me buying so many of these. You get a little bit more nitpicky. But overall, still a solid figure. I just wish that they had done a little better of a job at the paint to make it stand out a little bit more and potentially be a little more show accurate. It's also it stands out a little more, and you kind of mention it more when it comes to exclusives because you pay a little bit more in particular for this set. You kind of want them to be a higher quality. But yeah, that's about it. I'm just kind of done rambling now. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Toku podcast at writersrangesrambles.com. Until next time, this is Dawson Rider, signing